So you're over 50 and you're wondering, how in the world do I make new friends? If you look back when we're in elementary school, junior high, high school, and college, we're constantly around people who are our own age, who are sharing a lot of experiences. And friendships are made through shared experiences. So we go to class with people, we belong to clubs and sporting teams with people, we go to after school activities. We're constantly shuffling around with a ton of people who we have a lot of things in common with. And then after college, you get into a new job, and there's often a whole bunch of new hires at the company, and there's young professional organizations inside your industry. So it's easy to get matched up with people. Then, if you choose to get married, all kinds of young couples get together and hang around. And then when you have children, everybody gets together with their kids, and there's play dates and all that. It's really easy to make friends in the earlier stages of your life. But when you get over 50 and your kids have moved away and you're sort of caught in the routines that take up your life, making new friends, it can get a lot more complicated. I talk to people all the time who say, Thom, I haven't made a new friend in 5 or 10 years. How do you even make new friends when you're at our age? Well, you can make new friends at any age. It just takes an effort. My father, my dad, he lived to be 99 years old, and he was making new friends in his 70s, his 80s, and even his 90s because he was social, he belonged to organizations, he was nice to people, and he always had a curiosity about the people who were around them. And I think that's something that all of us need to adopt as we go into this season of our lives. So I have 4 tips for you on how to make friends after 50, and I hope it will help you. Now, I realize this is going to be different for everybody. Some people are more extroverted. Some people are more introverted. Some people don't have a lot of hobbies or things that interest them. So, like I talk about in a lot of these videos on this channel, you're going to have to push yourself out of your comfort zone if you would like to make new friendships. I made a declaration when I turned 50 that I was going to make age 50 to 75 the best years of my life. And the motto that I try to live by is try new things. So if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, the best way to get out of that rut is to try something new. And while you're out there trying new things, along the way, you're probably going to make some new friends. So my first piece of advice is to join some sort of organizations or get involved with some sort of hobbies. When you go out and do things where there's a lot of people doing the same things, that's a great way to spend time together. As I said earlier, friendships are built through shared experiences. So whether it's golf or tennis, or heck, at our age, I guess everybody plays pickleball, whether it's something like playing chess, or whether it's getting involved with your industry organization, make sure that you're doing something where you're getting around people, where you have some shared interest and you can share those experiences together. As I look back over the last 10 years of my life, I have made more friends than I probably ever have in my entire life through my involvement in the industry that I work in. So for those of you who know me and have seen other things that I do, most of my income comes from being a professional speaker at corporate events and association conferences. And so 12 years ago, I got really involved with the National Speakers Association. Now, the National Speakers Association is like any other trade association. If I was a plumber, I would have gotten involved with the National Plumbers Association. So look at your industry and figure out, where are people gathering who do the type of job that I do? If you're a lawyer, it's time to go get involved with your bar association. If you're an accountant, find some sort of an organization that specializes in the type of accounting that you do. Because of my involvement in the National Speakers Association, I've met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life. But just joining the organization, that's not going to bring you friendships. You have to actually participate in the online and in-person offerings that an association has. So I make sure that every year, and I've done this for over a decade, I go to 2 conferences put on by NSA. And by doing that, I'm in a room with anywhere from 500 to 2,000 professional speakers. We all share the love for the industry. We all do certain types of things in common in running speaking businesses. And while we're there, we're going to happy hours, we're going to learning sessions. And just by sharing those experiences time after time, friendships start to get built. Now, remember, It takes time. You can't join an association and show up once at their meeting and expect you're going to have a ton of new friends. It probably took me 3 or 4 years before I started to build the friendships that are really positively impacting my life today. So go get involved with something. My second tip is when you meet people, ask a lot of questions about their life. The first time you meet somebody, they don't really care about you. They care about themselves. So make sure that you ask a lot of questions and get them talking about a subject that they are interested in, whether it's their job, whether it's their faith community, whether it's their kids. There's all kinds of things that you can ask. But the more questions you ask of somebody, the more they're going to see that you're taking a legitimate interest in them. And after you ask 4 or 5 questions, they'll probably turn it around and ask you similar questions. Having a curiosity about people is a great way to open up the doors. Now, if you're not used to building friendships and making these types of connections, if you're a little more shy, realize that there's nothing wrong with being curious about what makes another person interesting and what they do that they find fascinating. So ask those questions, get people talking. The more they talk, the more they're going to take an interest in you afterwards. Now, not everybody who you talk to and ask questions of, you're not going to have a connection with everybody, and that's okay. Enjoy hearing their life story, and if that's all it is, move on to the next person. But if you talk to enough people, you're going to find those things where there's synergies between your life and theirs, and that will lead to actual friendships down the line. My third tip is be the organizer who brings people together. If you're attending some sort of an event, there might be a night that is like dinner on your own. There's nothing on the schedule that night. So reach out to people and say, hey, let's all go to dinner. A great idea is before you arrive at the conference, look around for a restaurant that's near the hotel where you're going to be staying and make a reservation 2 or 3 weeks in advance. Make that reservation for about 6 people. And then between the time you make the reservation and that evening, you can start inviting people to come along. Make it clear that, hey, everybody has to pay for their own dinner and drinks, but I thought it would be fun to put an eclectic group together where we could all go out and get to know each other better. Oftentimes at these conferences, people are by themselves and they're looking for people that they can do things with. So if you're the organizer, you're going to have a group of people who suddenly are with you at dinner or whatever. If you're looking to make friendships with people in your local town, as you meet people, host a dinner party. Now, I know some people go, whoa, I don't know how to cook. You could cater the dinner party. Or a great way to do it is take a cooking class or look at some videos online or read some books on how to cook and invite 2 or 3 people who you've met recently through different things who you think are nice and you think they're fun, and tell them, one of the things I'm doing after 50 in my try new things lifestyle is I'm learning to cook. And I haven't really done this before. So I'm having a little dinner party where I'm inviting 4 or 5 other people over, and I would love it if you would come. Now, some people might not be interested in that, but other people would be like, wow, you're learning to cook? I'll come be a guinea pig. And all of a sudden you bring an eclectic group of people together. And again, you're at the center of that. Now, again, I'd keep it to about 6 or 8 people. If you invite 20 people over for dinner, you're going to have your hands full cooking dinner. And also, you're not going to have a chance to talk to everybody. So about 6 people is a great number. If you're in a relationship and you're a couple, that just means you invite 2 other couples and now you have 6 people at the dinner table. So be the organizer and you're always going to have new people who are coming to you. And some of those people you'll actually build friendships with. Some of them will say, hey, I'm going to have a dinner party. Why don't you come to my house next month? And then you get into a system where you're trading off. One great thing I've seen people do is they put together dinner clubs with, again, 2, 3, or 4 couples where they can all get together and trade off hosting. And again, you see each other every month because shared experiences over time are how you're going to build relationships. And the 6th thing is realize that not everybody has to be your friend. Sometimes you're going to run across people and there's just not a connection there, or you don't like them. Or sometimes there's people who are already in your life who they're a gossip or they're nasty or they talk bad about you behind their back. You don't have to include them in the things you do. So it's okay that not everybody you encounter in your life, and some people who've been around for a long time, are jettisoned or let go. You don't have to be friends with everybody. However, you want to make sure that you're being open-minded and you're being kind. And my bonus tip follows up on that. If somebody's a jerk, you don't have to be. If someone's a gossip or they're that friend who always tries to stir up drama, you can still be a nice person. And when they're not in the room, you don't have to badmouth them. You can just go on. But you also don't have to invite them to your house for Thanksgiving anymore. So go out there and be nice to people and be kind and be interested in them. And over time, you'll be able to build new friendships. I think that between the ages of 50 and 75, or heck, between the ages of 50 and 100, you can probably establish the most amazing friendships that you've ever had in your life. But you've got to be committed to it, and you've got to take an interest in people and take action. I hope you liked this video. I'm trying to create a whole series of videos on life after 50 and the different things we can do. I would love it if you would leave a comment down below in the comments, letting me know what topics you'd like me to cover. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it.